Well, I went to SHIP to be an elementary school teacher. And I didn't take any of the business courses or any of that thing. I wasn't interested in that sort of stuff. After teaching for just a year, I sort of dropped out and hit the road and did a multitude of things, and often ended up in retail. And eventually it dawned on me that I did want to be my own boss, and so I just wanted to start my own thing. So what did I want to start? Well, I always loved Shippensburg. I loved the college experience. I loved the town. So I went back to SHIP many years after graduating and saw that there was still nothing in the town for college students. No place to buy music, no place to buy posters. There was nothing like that in Shippensburg at the time. So that's what I started. I borrowed $5,000 from my dad to start that business, and for 4 years didn't take anything out of it, just kept putting whatever little money I made back into it, and kept growing. Another expansion. Now I'm at 2,500 square feet after starting out with 300 square feet. And I segued away from books and students and posters and albums and music into the professors became my clientele, especially the lady professors. So my main thing was jewelry and ladies' clothing, although I still sold American craft. I still sold some books. I still sold a little bit of everything in 19 years that I was there. In 96 I had a heart attack and always wanted to live at the beach, so we thought it's time to go. So we sold the business to Linda Shoemaker, who still has the business in Shippensburg, and I started in 1977, so here we are this many years later, and it's still going strong. Linda changed it a bit, but probably for the better. You have to make a business what you enjoy, and that's sort of what she's done. Then I went to North Carolina, and lo and behold, I started another business. While I was in Shippensburg, the thing I really liked was things made in America. I became real strong about that, and so I always carried pottery and glass and the jewelry and that sort of thing. So when I went to North Carolina, and it was at the beach, started a business of American craft. That's the only thing we sold. If it wasn't made in America, I didn't want to touch it. Went a little bit more high-end because it was a tourist area, people on vacation, a lot of golf communities, Yankees moving down to the south. It was a lot of fun, and it was almost instantly successful. And we sort of fell into this alpaca thing, and we've fallen in love with it. We right now have 14 alpacas and 2 llamas, and we enjoy being farmers. It's a bit removed from retail, although we do have a small store here on the farm, and Cindy's a hand spinner and a weaver and a knitter, and we sell her finished product plus product that we bring in from Peru, like sweaters and socks and gloves and hats and that sort of thing. But we both really enjoy the animals. It's not a lot of hard work. It's okay for people that, it's good for people that are semi-retired as we are, but you just fall in love with these creatures, and so we're excited about it. We think this is a new business, a new niche in the marketplace, and we're going to try and fill that niche a little bit.
Started mostly as a doll shop, and that's what I was a doll collector, and the doll shop in this area was going out of business, and so we talked about buying out her business, but it wasn't feasible. She had a long-term lease on where she was, and if she wanted this to be, I wanted it to be a doll shop and an art gallery, because that's my other passion. Is I'm a watercolorist, and I wanted to be able to teach watercolor. So her spacing wasn't allowing us to do that. So rather than buy her out, I decided to find my own building, which I did in New Cumberland, and refurbished it, put a lot of money into it, and unfortunately that takes a lot of time also. But we got the doll shop up and running, and then we had the art gallery too. But we started that in 2000, and sort of phased out the dolls around 2004, 2005. Started stressing the art gallery, moved most of everything into art instead of dolls. Then after a couple years, 2 years maybe, we phased out the art gallery and just became an art school. And we find that that doesn't need to be on the main street. People find you mostly by word of mouth, send out emails and some ads and papers and so on. And got a lot of students that way.
It always ended up badly after a while, because I just got fed up with if it didn't make sense, and I wanted to tell them what to do, but they were the boss, and so it doesn't work that way. So I learned a lot. You know, they didn't know it, but they were mentors in a lot of ways. But that was the impetus to make me go start the business. I just couldn't handle being the underling. So when you're your own boss, you make your own mistakes, and there's no way to blame it yourself. So I think that's striving for independence was the thing I wanted most of all. And I could close and open whenever I wanted. I hate getting up early in the morning. I could never figure out, why does school have to start at 8? You know, then you get home at 3 and you don't have anything to do. Why don't we start at 9 or 10? I've always felt that way. It's part of the independence. Part of being in business is supposed to be fun too. If it's not fun, I wouldn't want to be in it. You know, I really enjoyed having my own business, and part of that enjoyment was the freedom to make some of those irresponsible decisions. But in the beginning, I just closed. If I want, if there was a picnic or something, I was a hippie. I was a businessman hippie. That's the truth. I had hair down to here. I had a beard down to here. Did my own thing.
When I first started watercolors, it was, I enjoyed painting so much, but I had small children, and you're always interrupted. You spend most of your time feeding your kids and trying to get them to go to sleep. Not much time in between for you. So it was like a really cool day. My husband said, you know what, you want to paint? And he took the kids, all of them, and went somewhere for the whole day. I don't even know where they went, but I had a whole day that I could just sit and paint. So the idea that I could have a job where that's what I did, and I could have this store where I could just sit in there, and that's what I did. I had my table right inside the door so that people that would be walking by could see that I was painting and maybe draw them inside, and I just sit and did the thing that I loved most. And then to be able to share that with other people, then to teach.